Hello, guys. Welcome back. Episode 36 of Ladies First. I am your host, Amber Vickers. Let me get this banner rolling at the bottom. But got a good show today, of course. We got a great show. A lot of things have transpired in the sports community. A lot of things have transpired in the sports community. We got softball going on right now. My OU Sooners took an L. Mike Krzyzewski announces his retirement. A lot of things going on. Fans being charged and arrested. It's just a lot going on. I want to talk about as much as I can remember because there's so much going on. But before we do that, I'm going to give you our sponsors and things like that. So let's go ahead and jump into those before we start the show. All right. teespring.com/stores/unwrapped. I got my ladies first gear here. I'm going to show it to you guys. Also got my mug that I keep my water in. We got some OG gear right here. Then we got some new label gear, some more OG gear, some LeBron gear. Hopefully I can get that win tonight. It goes to game 7. Let's see. Come on, load up. Here we go. Fights Unwrapped. All right. Big fight between Jake Paul or Logan or Jake, whichever one of those social media influencers is fighting Floyd Money Mayweather. Then we got Gen Z Sports, Fourth Man Pod. You guys know the Big 3 is coming back. The People's XFL show. Here's the ladies' first gear I was telling you guys about. I have this in blue. This is what the back looks like. This is what the mug looks like. Actually, I have the same exact mug. And I also have it in gray as well. Saturday Standouts with Sam and Caleb. Backstop Banter with my co-hosts for Count the Bucket, Michael and Connie. Excuse me. Business Casual with Aaron. He just went on. He had a solo show tonight. Well, today. Keeping It Blunt, the Prop Bros, of course, the Long Ball Lounge with Jesse. That's our new show to the live lineup. Check out teespring.com/store/unwrapped to support the Unwrapped Sports Network. All right, next we have RX Hemp. RXHemp.com. Use the code RXHemp/USN to get 10% off your entire order. It's warm and cool therapy, CBD product made with all natural ingredients. Be careful about the dosage. Don't rub too much on. If it doesn't kick in, trust me, it kicks in. They also have celebrity believers who use the stuff as well. So check out RXHemp.com. Use the code RXHemp/USN to get 10% off your order. All you gamblers out there. Now, the Unwrapped Sports Network is on a roll. They are on a roll. In the chat, in the Discord chat, I'll tell you how you can become a part of that chat here in a minute. MyBookie.ag. It seems like the Unwrapped Sports Network is on a roll with this gambling thing. So they've been winning. So if you want to find out how to win money, support the Patreon. But we'll talk about that in a second. But MyBookie.ag. Use the code USN100 to double your first deposit. Got some good games going on tonight. Utah has already moved on. We got Nuggets and Blazers. We got Phoenix and Lakers. We got the Mavs and Clippers tomorrow. It's a lot of good games. Some WNBA betting. I don't think MyBookie has that quite yet. But anything you want to bet on, one of the Paul brothers and Floyd Money Mayweather, you can bet on that. Looks like there will be no judges. They have rules here for the fight, and this is going to be very interesting. But look, they got knockouts. I think it's only going to be 8 rounds. So they got knockout betting already placed on here. Does it go the distance? Just everything you can think of. PGA Tour, Belmont Stakes, and things like that. So check out mybookie.ag. Use the code USN100 to double your first deposit. All right, last but not least, to become a part of that Discord chat, I'm going to tell you how you can do that. Support the Unwrapped Sports Network at our Patreon, patreon.com/unwrappedsports. $1 a month, general support, become a fan. $5 a month to get you a part of that Discord chat that's been hot lately and gets you 10% off that Teespring shop. $10 a month, 20% off that Teespring shop. Discord chat, all access, as well as being in a running for signed memorabilia. This month, I think it's Brandon Ayuk. I think it's his signed poster. Let me go in here and look and make sure. Let me go to the Discord chat. Let me make sure that's what it is. So we had the signed Ricky Williams miniature helmet. Hopefully you guys can see that, or maybe not. Let me stop my screen share. Let me show you guys. We got the signed helmet there. Boom. That's someone won. And yes, the May piece is a signed poster from Brandon Ayuk. The rookie, he was a rookie last year for the 49ers. Let's see. I think that's it. I got the signed Keenan Allen jersey. And then Garrett from Iowa got the signed David Montgomery jersey. So become part of the Patreon. Come to that $10 VIP club. You get those perks. We're always giving out things for our supporters, and we really appreciate everything that you do to support the Unwrapped Sports Network. Now, just a disclosure. If I look up or look to the side, I got 2 games going on right now. I got the New York Liberty and Las Vegas Aces, which is currently on League Pass. I got that on my iPad. And then the Blazers are playing, of course. Norman Powell opens the game with a 3. Blazers in Denver, game 6. Game 6 for Blazers and Nuggets, should I say. Game 6. We know the show that Dame put on the other night. I stayed up and watched it. I couldn't believe it, and they lost. That's hard. That's tough. Michael Porter Jr. comes back and hits a 3. Of course, my League Pass. Where did he go? Where did he go? Where did he go? Come on, League Pass. Work for me. League Pass was working. Okay, here we are. Why does it keep doing that? Apparently, my League Pass keeps messing up. CJ just scored. McCollum just scored. They got to fix this League Pass site because it is not very user-friendly. Play. Come on now. Maybe I just need to watch it. Okay, here we go. It's going to have to be on a small screen. So I have 2 screens working. So if you see me glance, then that's what I'm looking at. WNBA action tonight, NBA action tonight. 2 pivotal game 6s. I'll start with the ladies first, as always. So we're gonna talk about the ladies first. WNBA news you can use. There's some things that's happened in the WNBA. Everything that's happened in sports, I'm probably going to do that towards the end of the show, college sports and things like that. But I'm going to talk about WNBA first, NBA second, and then news you probably could use last. Let's see. Let's go to the WNBA website. All right. You guys can see that. We got some news here. Let's come on. There we go. Michaela Onyenwere. Yes, I learned how to pronounce her name. Rookie of the month for the WNBA. Averaging 12 points per game, 3.3 rebounds. She's a rookie out of UCLA. Players of the month. Breanna Stewart, not a surprise. Jonquel Jones, not a surprise. She's an MVP candidate. Breanna Stewart is doing her thing. Coach of the month, Walt Hopkins for New York Liberty, not surprise. Dan Hughes stepped down. Dan Hughes stepped down for the coach for the Seattle Storm, and Noel Quinn stepped up. She played for UCLA and played in the WNBA for many years, but Noel Quinn has stepped up into that position. It's good to see a Black woman in charge of that team. I think she's going to do great. Kia Nurse hit a game winner against the Chicago Sky, and it just broke their hearts. They play again tonight. I'll be watching it tonight. They play again tonight, I think, on CBS Sports Network. I believe, if I'm thinking correctly, they do play again tonight. It's another rematch. Quigley is back, but Candace Parker is not back. We know DT is out for the Mercury. So we can see if Phoenix can stay afloat without her. I talked about that before. DT is down in Taurasi, if you guys don't know. Candace Parker has been out with that ankle injury. It just does not look good. The ankle did not look good for Candace Parker. I wonder if she'll come back this month. I hope she will, because Chicago has been struggling without her. But you get Quigley back. So you get Allie Quigley back, which is a great thing to kind of control that pace for that second unit. Looks like an N1 there for Dame, but they didn't call it. And I like that. I like that. But the Chicago Sky have been struggling. here lately. They started off hot, but they were healthy, of course, and then they've been struggling. So we'll see what happens tonight. The Wings snapped their 4-game losing streak and they beat the Sparks. They let their rookies kind of do their thing. I love that. The Aces snapped the Suns 3-game winning streak. I think the hottest team in the WNBA right now might be the Atlanta Dream. But let's look at some power rankings, guys. Let's look at some power rankings. Seattle's number 1, of course, defending champs. Las Vegas Aces number 2, Connecticut 3. The Atlanta Dream, hottest team in the WNBA. Like I said, they're number 4, hottest team right now. The Connecticut Suns start off 5-0, but now they've lost 2 in a row, but they'll get back on the winning streak. I'm not surprised. Courtney Williams has been balling. If you guys do not know Hollywood, as we call her for the Atlanta Dream, she's going to be out. She's going to be out with an injury. I don't know how long she will be out. Kennedy Carter is who I'm talking about, guys. I don't know how long Kennedy Carter is going to be out, but she's going to be out a significant amount of time with that injury. So it looks like McDonald's going to get more minutes. Tiffany Hayes is going to step up. Odyssey Simpson is going to get more minutes. Courtney Williams is going to keep doing her thing, hopefully. So she's out for a while. Hollywood is out for a while, and I want to see her healthy because she wasn't healthy last season. New York Liberty 5-2. Phoenix number 6 at 3-3. The Sparks are 2-2. Chicago 2-4. They have just not been able to get wins. But I think Stephanie Dolson comes back tonight as well. I think she comes back tonight, and then I told you guys Quigley comes back, and then Candace Parker's out. She's out with that ankle injury. It just did not look good. Norman Powell for 3, yes. Portland is hot from 3 so far. Norman Powell has 2 threes. It is 9-14 Portland. We'll just have to see. The Washington Mystics are struggling. They are struggling. Donald's not back yet from that back injury, and they just don't look good. They don't look good. I hope they get it together. And Minnesota finally got their first win. You guys didn't know they're struggling as well. Ariel Powers is out, but Nafisha Collier is back. So we'll see how that works out. Dallas Wings got a win, got off the schneid. They have a young team. Let's see if they play their rookies more. And Indiana needs to figure out rotations. I've talked about this before. Something about the Indiana Fever team is just not quite clicking just yet. And I want to see if they can figure it out. They've got to figure it out. They've got to figure that out in order to get some wins. Now the top 8 teams go. So the top 8 teams go to the playoffs. So you still have time. You still have time. But I think once everybody gets healthy, that Olympic break you're going to have, then a Commissioner's Cup. After that, it's going to be a weird year for them, of course, even though COVID's slowing down. Hopefully they get more fans in the building. I'm really wanting to see that. Hopefully COVID slows down some more so we can get more fans in the building for these WNBA games. And also that Olympic break they had that 3-on-3 break, which WNBA players are allowed to come back from. I just saw that Kelsey Plum is coming back from hers. So all the WNBA players that went on that break for that 3-on-3 tournament they are allowed to come back, and they are currently transitioning back to their teams because they just won that last week. So that's exciting to see. I'm glad they were able to come back. And you got that Olympic break. So what kind of impact will the Olympic break take? Will some of these ladies not play in the Olympics to play in a Commissioner's Cup and then take that rest? I wonder how that's going to play a factor into who wins that Commissioner's Cup this year. That's going to be very interesting. Let's look at some stats. Come on now. There we go. Let's look at some stats. I want to see who leads the league in scoring. I could kind of guess it, but I think it might be jumbled at the top. Come on now. Let me close some tabs. Maybe that'll help. All right, here we go. Okay. Asia Wilson's leading the league. Wait a minute. I'm looking at per game. Nightly leaders. Nah, I want to see. Wait a minute. Here we go. This is advanced stats. This is what I'm looking for. Tina Charles leads the league in scoring, 26.7. Brianna Stewart is second. Lainey's third. Enrique is fourth. And Jacqueline Jones is fifth. Jacqueline Jones averaging a double-double. The only person in WBA averaging a double-double. Yes. Brianna Stewart is second. McGowan is third. Brittany Griner is fourth. Sylvia Fowles is fifth. Assists per game. That's not a surprise here. At these top five. Steals per game. Dan Robinson leads the league in that. Boomer Sooner. Blocks per game. Brianna Turner. They play tonight. If you guys want to check out the Phoenix Mercury. Liz Cambage is playing right now. Of course, Brittany Griner plays. That defense for Phoenix is stifling. Let's see. Field goal percentage is not a surprise there. A lot of these women take their shots. She's out 4 to 6 weeks. Agumlake is out 4 to 6 weeks with a knee, I believe. She's out 4 to 6 weeks. So she will not be available for the Sparks. That's a tough blow. They just lost Jasmine Walker, their rookie that they drafted very high out of Alabama. They just lost her to a knee injury. So Sylvia Fowles leads the league in field goal percentage. Not a surprise. These two they do their work in the paint. 3-point percentage. Courtney Williams. Okay, Court. Leads the league at 55.2%. Goodness. Okay. 3-pointers made Jacqueline Jones. She's been pulling up. She hit like a step back 3 the other day. And I was like, what? Biggs is out here working. That does not surprise me. Sabrina doesn't surprise me. Ariel Atkins has really, really improved her shooting. So I'm very happy for her. Fantasy points. Brianna Stewart leads fantasy points. Let me see why she leads fantasy. Because she's top 2 in rebounding and scoring. That's why she leads fantasy. And of course, Jonquil Jones, she's top 5 in points and rebounds. Tina Charles is, let me see where she is for rebounds. Tina Charles is, I need rebounds. Why won't it give me rebounds? Category rebounds. I know Tina Charles is not this far down the list for rebounds. But anyway, she has high fantasy points as well. So those are fantasy points, field goal percentage, assists, rebounds, steals, 3-point percentage, 3-pointers made, blocks, and points per game. Tina Charles is in the MVP conversation along with Jonquil Jones. The only thing about Tina Charles is her team is not winning. Brianna Stewart will jump in there. I think Lainey will jump in there as well because those teams are winning. So I don't know. In the in the NBA, they reward you for winning. If you're winning, they reward you for winning. In WNBA, I think they do the same. But those teams are the top teams in the league. So you guys just saw the power rankings. So they will be in that MVP conversation more often than not. Norman Powell, no, same corner. Joker gets the rebound. He's pushing it ahead to Austin Rivers. No. Good defense, Rocco. That's good defense. Here we go. You guys know I'm in the middle of watching the Blazers game, but that's some WBA stats for you guys. Let's go back. Let me stop my screen share. We got some good games tonight. We got some great games tonight. Let me go back home page. Right now, I'm watching the Aces and the Liberty. Right now, we got Phoenix in the Sky, and then we have the Fever and Sparks. So the Fever need to win, the Sparks need to win. 2 teams that desperately need to win. The Sky desperately need to win. They need to avenge that loss they had to the Phoenix Mercury on their last second shot by Kia Nurse. And we got a good one there in New York. Who's at the line? I can't see who's at the line. My screen is too small because when I enlarge the screen, it does not work. It doesn't work for some reason on WNBA.com. But guys, that's all the WNBA news I have for you. I'm going to talk about some NBA, of course. We're going to move to the NBA. I'll keep you guys updated on the injury report and things like that. Oh, Lexi Brown got picked up. Thank goodness. She got picked up by the Chicago Sky. So Lexi Brown is now part of the Chicago Sky. Anything else that I'm missing? I might be missing some more news, but I have to, like I said, I keep up with so much. I'll keep you guys updated next week because there will be more news, especially with Gumlake's injury, Kennedy Carter's injury. Hopefully Candace Parker comes back. DT will be out for a while. So there'll be some things that will be happening. Hopefully some more transitions will happen in the WNBA. We need an expansion. We need more teams. We all know that because a lot of these ladies deserve to be on a roster and are not on a roster. But the good thing for the Sky, Quickly's back, and I think Dawson is back as well. So both of those players should be back tonight. I know Quickly for a fact. I'm not quite sure about Stephanie Dawson, but I have to check and see. So that's WNBA news and stats and power rankings. Okay, the NBA. Utah did what Utah needed to do. Congratulations, Utah. I think Utah's going to be a tough out. I really do. Who would they get next? The 1-4? They get the Clippers or the Mavs next. And the Mavs don't play enough defense, I don't think, to stop Utah. I think Utah has a pretty easy, I'll say pretty easy path to Western Conference Finals, because if they don't play the Clippers, which is a strong possibility they could or not, somebody has to win a home game. Somebody's going to have to win a home, or Dallas doesn't have to win a home game to win the series. The Clippers have to win a home game to win the series, because there's 3 road games in Dallas, 4 road games for the Clippers because it's the best out of 7. So Dallas doesn't have to win a home game. The Clippers do. No team has won a home game in that series. So Utah is pretty much licking their chops right now. If they play Dallas, Dallas can play a lick of defense. And the way Utah moves the ball, that's tough. And the way they play defense, that's tough. Tough left-handed scoop there by Dame here. Tied up 22-22, 4 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first quarter. That's going to be tough for me. I really honestly think, this is just my honest opinion, that Utah has a really good path to the Western Conference Finals. Let's look at these other series. We got Portland and Denver. So whoever wins, how do you stop that? Dame is just on another level right now. We got Portland and Denver. The winner of the Portland-Denver series plays Phoenix or LA. The Lakers are struggling, and that's a nice way to put it, without Anthony Davis. Phoenix blew the brakes off the Lakers in Phoenix. Do I want the Lakers to win tonight? Yeah, I do. I want the Lakers to win tonight because I'm going to say if Dame would have hit that, that would have been ridiculous. I want the Lakers to win tonight because I do want to see 7 games. Just me being a, selfish NBA fan. I'm sorry. That's been a great series thus far for me to watch. Just Chris Paul and LeBron going at it. AD when he's healthy. Even when AD's been healthy, Michael Porter Jr. is on a tear right now as well. Even when AD was healthy, Phoenix played them tough. DeAndre Ayton and Campaign have been my MVPs. Talked about that on Count the Bucket. Have been my MVPs thus far in the series because Campaign has kept them in a lot of games. Melo just hit a 3. Campaign has kept them in a lot of games because Chris Paul's shoulder is not all the way 100%, and he just hurt his shoulder again. And I saw a video on Twitter, it was posted on Twitter, about Chris Paul talking to Campaign and telling him essentially, if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be in this game. You see that score, that's all you. So Chris Paul's giving him the mentorship and the toolage to be great and be great in situations like this. Devin Booker's Devin Booker. But Ayton and Campaign have been playing very well. Mikal Bridges, looking for him to step up. Jay Crowder's had some good moments. Mikal Bridges has to knock down shots. He's a 3-and-D guy. He can get to the cup when he wants to as well, but I'm looking for Mikal Bridges to knock down shots. But Campaign, DeAndre Ayton, keep doing your thing because you guys have played very well. Chris Paul, even if he's not healthy, you could tell when he's not healthy, he kind of favors that right shoulder. He doesn't go up for rebounds and things like that. But I'm looking forward to seeing this Game 6 tonight because I don't think LeBron wants to go out this way. And AD and that groin injury, I just would rest AD. I wouldn't bring him back this series because the groin injuries are tricky. I asked one of my medical friends on Twitter about groin injuries. He said he was going to look into it. But knowing what you know about a groin, he's had, just check this out, with the Lakers this season, in a 5-month span, probably a 4-month span, we'll say 5. He's had an Achilles, a knee, and a groin. And Charles Barkley talked about this on Inside the NBA. Chuck did. He said, all these injuries are domino effects. The Achilles injury happened, it's just something that's been happening in basketball a lot here lately. Then from the Achilles, sorry guys, my dog just shook. He just shook his fur so he can kind of get it back to where it needs to be. He went from an Achilles injury to a knee injury, the knee injury to the groin injury. And the way that DeAndre Ayton's been working, I would rest. I would rest and get healthy for next season because I don't think it's worth his career. I also have a friend on Twitter. He's a big Anthony Davis fan. He's a big Chicago guy. So he's from Chicago. He keeps up with Chicago players. And he made something very interesting. He made a very interesting point. He was talking about how the Pelicans has handled his injury history and how they've trained Anthony Davis and how he went to the Lakers. His body just was not trained properly. And that's very interesting. It was a very interesting take about him training with football trainers and not basketball trainers. Guys, there's a difference. There's a difference in body mechanics and agility and all of it's a big difference from basketball to football. It just is. And for 7 years, the Pelicans just didn't handle him the way they need to handle him. And he gave like a whole report. I'm going to try to find it and show it to you guys. But I really appreciated him for that. So that was interesting. I liked what he said. It made sense because you should not be a basketball player training with a football trainer. No. No. So that AD injury is very, very crucial to the Lakers' success. I don't think he should come back. I saw that on Twitter too, that they should just shut him down because he needs time to recover. He needs time to heal his body because there was a quick turnaround. You did have the bubble and then you played on Christmas and you just got done playing in October. So that was a quick turnaround for NBA players. They're not used to that. WNBA players are used to it, but NBA players are not. I talk about that a lot. People complaining, but WNBA players do it all the time. It was, don't worry about it, guys. But I think that should happen. I think the Lakers medical staff should say, look, we're going to go at this again next year. And if LeBron goes all out, it's game 6 and goes all out game 7, I still think Phoenix wins the series. But he does. And it just sees what that brings. Or LeBron could just say, you know what? We'll see what happens. Dennis Schroeder he took the LA Lakers out of his bio on Instagram, and I think Twitter bullied him or somebody bullied him, and he put it back in. I saw that today. I was like, what the heck is going on? Looks like Miami, the Knicks are in a running for Dennis Schroeder. I don't know if he'll be a Laker next season. I really don't know if that's going to be possible. They're on a commercial break. Okay, good. I don't know if that's going to be possible for him to be a Laker next year, but we'll see. I thought about Kyle Lowry as a Laker, but I think he wants to go home to Philly. Come on, give me that and one. Come on. There we go. Portland's up 27-30. Portland's up with about a minute 40 left in the first. But the Dennis Schroeder situation is dicey. It is dicey. The Lakers do need a point guard. I think they do. Alex Caruso will probably demand money. THT will probably demand some money. I think the Lakers should keep THT. That's Taylor Horton Tucker, if you don't know. I'm trying to figure out what the Montrezl Harrell situation is like for the Lakers. The matchup I think he should play more. I really do. Kuzma's inconsistent. DeAndre Ayton is working every big that the Lakers put in. It could be Drummond. I don't think Anthony Davis is guarding him much. It's Drummond, Marc Gasol, Trez when he plays. They are working. Ayton is working everybody. Ayton is just putting up very good numbers. This is what I expected from him in the regular season. This is the exact same production I expected from him. But when it's counted most, he has really played well. So that Phoenix and Lakers series is going to be great. If the Lakers don't win tonight, it won't do anything to LeBron's legacy. Dame for 3, no. Rebound, fall 4. Here we go. Campazzo. I like Campazzo. He's that guy at the YMCA you don't pick up, but he's the smartest player on the court. I like Campazzo a lot. Ooh, Jermichael Green missed everything on that 3. Here we go. We're pushing. Okay, Anthony. Anthony Simons pulls up his three. He's been hot from three. It is now 33-27. This series is going to go 7. I got the Blazers in 6 or 7. I said that before. Boom. What else we got? Milwaukee with the sweep. I think I talked about that last time on my show because it's been a while since they played. Milwaukee swept Miami, and I'm really disappointed because I picked Miami to win that series in 6 or 7. They got some off-season moves to think about and to make. I don't have anything to say about that series. I'm really impressed with the way the Bucks play defense when they needed to. Miami doesn't have that 20-point per game score. That's going to hurt you. They played as a team collectively last year in that bubble. They just didn't do that this year. With COVID and injuries, they just didn't play up to their potential this season. You saw flashes of it, but you didn't see enough of it for them to be consistent enough. And they played a Bucks team that was hungry, wanted to avenge that loss. Kind of reminds me of the Spurs, the way they lost to Miami back, was that 2013 NBA Finals? Yes, and then they beat the Miami Heat 2014 Finals with a record points, average margin of victory, should I say, average margin of victory. So Bucks were out for blood, and they took blood from Miami. They snatched Miami's soul. Miami had a very good game 1, winning the overtime. Games 2, 3, and 4 were just, I just didn't see that same fight in that Miami team. I just didn't see it. But Pat Riley's going to make some moves. I'm not worried about the Miami Heat. They're going to be great. Jimmy Butler is demanding a multi-year deal. So is Chris Paul. He's demanding a multi-year. So he's going to opt out of his $44 million. Chris Paul is. And I think Jimmy Butler is demanding 4 years, $141 million or something like that. 4 years, $180 million. Something along those lines is what Jimmy Butler is demanding. So we'll see who gives that to him. And we'll see how that works out for him. All right. The end of the first quarter, we got Denver with 29, Portland with 33. Dame and Michael Porter Jr. are going at it. Dame and Michael Porter Jr. are really going at it. I wonder how much each of those players have a piece. I can't really see that right now because I got my WNBA going on right now. And the Liberty are down 5, 80-75 with 4 minutes and 35 seconds left. They're in the fourth quarter. Next series, I want to talk about the Clippers and Mavs. Oh, boy. Like I said before, the home team has not won a game. So the Mavs could lose tomorrow on the road. I mean, at home. And went on the road. That's pretty much what it's looking like. That's what it's shaping up to be. I wonder if there's ever been a playoff series where a team won all 4 road games and won the series 4-3. That would be a stat I need to look up. That's something for most stat geeks to look up. But the Clippers were hot. They took 2 in a row. I'm like, okay, the Clippers, I can see them winning 4 in a row. And then Luka came back from that next strain, played very well. Tim Hardaway Jr. hit some big shots for them down the stretch. KP hit a big shot. Kristaps Porzingis is KP, guys. He hit a big shot. And I was like, oh, Kawhi airballed a 3 when he had like 5 more seconds to shoot the ball. Rondo gave him this look. It's been circulating all over Twitter. I just didn't get that. Reggie Jackson hit big shots as well. Terrence Mann had a young player moment, but I don't think Paul George should have gave that ball up to Terrence Mann. I think Paul George should have kept that ball for himself, and him and Kawhi play 2-man. I think that's what should have happened, that last possession for the Clippers. But nonetheless, Clippers are down 3-2. I bet my car. I said I would bet my car that this game didn't go 7. This series didn't go 7. I would have lost my car because it's going to go 7. The Clippers just clip. I just don't understand. They're playing Terrence Mann. Ty Lue's playing Terrence Mann and Rondo Moore. Love it. Love it. But it's just something that they just cannot do. I don't know what exactly it is. Zubac gives you what he gives you. Of course, Serge Ibaka's out. Morris has been playing better lately. Batum, I don't know what's going on. Batum, Reggie Jackson played well the last game. So it's just something about them that they just cannot get on the same page defensively and offensively. Some possessions you just see they're just out of whack, and I just don't understand it. That series is 3-2. The next game is in Dallas, game 6. Do the Mavs close? Do the Clippers win? I say the Clippers win. I'm going to ride with the Clippers. I just got to. I don't like jumping off of a wave. Even when Miami went down 2-0, I was like, okay, Miami. Even when they went down 3-0, I was like, okay, Miami. And then they got swept. I had Utah winning that series against Memphis. I got Portland in 6 or 7. Looks like it's going to have to be 7 for Portland. The LA and Phoenix series, I couldn't predict, but I thought it would go 6 or 7. Let me see. The Knicks at MSG, Trae Young took a bow, Boomer Sooner Trae, and put on a show at MSG. Love me some Trae Young. I love the confidence in that young man. I just love it. Norman, Oklahoma. He's an Oklahoma guy. People talk about his hair. So what? It flows. It just flows. It flows like his jump shot. I love Trae Young. I loved him in college as well. So the Knicks, I predicted the Knicks to win game 5 at home. I said the Knicks are not going to lose MSG at home in front of that crowd, that have vaccinated, have not vaccinated crowd, that they have the MSG. Norman Powell just hit another 3. Started the second quarter, guys. They are not going to lose game 5. I said don't count the bucket. They cannot lose game 5. And Trae Young, John Collins, Clint Capella, DeAndre Hunter. You guys remember, Cam Reddish has not even played in the playoffs. Cam Reddish has been hurt. So this Hawks team is scary. Very scary. So congratulations to the Hawks. You get the Philadelphia 76ers with we don't know what's going on with Joel Embiid team. His knee, he has a partial tear in his knee. Partial tear in his knee. I'm not a medical expert, guys. I don't know the exact medical term for it, but I just know it's a partial tear in his knee. He missed game 5. They handled business against the Wizards in game 5. Very disappointing. I thought the Wizards would win that. They were up. And then all of a sudden that fourth quarter just got ugly. CJ with a dunk, backdoor cut, good pass, Melo. It is now 38-31. They're in Portland. Second quarter is about almost 2 minutes gone by. The 76ers. Joel Embiid needs to be healthy because they don't have enough scoring. In the way that Atlanta's playing right now, you need Joel Embiid healthy because I think Clint Capella is going to eat whoever the big is. If it's not Joel Embiid, Clint Capella is going to have a fun-filled day. He's going to give you 15 and 15 like he's been doing. He did the Knicks that way. Not Knicks with Mitchell Robinson. And, Julius Randle was not quite tall enough or big enough. They had Nerlens Noel. They got Taj Gibson. The Knicks had a great season. But Clint Capella ate. He ate that Knicks front line for lunch. And Trae Young is being Trae Young. He's not afraid of the moment. That young guy, I think he's built for the playoffs. I was wrong about him. I was wrong about Trae Young. I thought he should have stayed another year. But I was thinking to myself, he's the hottest guy in college basketball right now. That trade with the Mavs and the Hawks played out very well for both teams. The Mavs got Luka, got their star, and the Hawks got their star in Trae Young, and they were able to build around him, which was great. Trae Young's doing great things there in Atlanta. DeAndre Hunter doing great things. I can't wait to see Cam Reddish and his development. Clint Capella has developed into a pretty good player. Danilo Gallinari has played pretty well. Who else am I missing? Kevin Huerter's played pretty well. Bogdanovich. The Bogdanoviches can hoop. They can just shoot. Anybody with a Vich in their last name can hoop. You got Peja Stojakovic can shoot. Both Bogdanoviches can shoot. I just love it. I love it. Bogdanovich has been big for them as well. Shame on you. Was that Milwaukee that fumbled that trade or Sacramento? I think he came from Sacramento and Milwaukee fumbled the trade, I think. If Milwaukee had Bogdanovich. Now with Dante DiVincenzo out for the playoffs, that could have been crucial. That adds some more outside shooting. Dante DiVincenzo does a little bit more than shoot, but he can shoot. He's also a great defender, on the ball defender as well. Really tough. 4-year guy, played for Jay Wright. Love me some 4-year guys. Got a couple of championships at Villanova. So that's a missing piece. I think he was averaging 10 points a game this season. We're gonna see how they look without him. But that Atlanta and Philly series. Yes, sir. The series that people have been dying to see in the East, the Nets and the Bucks. The Nets handle business against the Celtics. No surprise there. The Celtics have a lot to think about in the offseason, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit on this show. I think Stephen A. talked about it enough for everyone in the Black community. But we'll talk about that when we got news you can use at the end of the show. The Celtics going to have to figure that out. Brad Stevens, not Danny Ainge, is going to have to figure that out. What do you do with Kemba? What do you do with Marcus Smart? How do you build around Tatum and Brown? You put more trust in those young guys. What do you do with Fournier? Was he just a rent for half a year, or do you re-sign him? Kemba Walker can't stay healthy. It's just, it pains me to say that, but that knee injury just lag and lag and lag. I don't think he had time this year to get healthy. It was just a lot. The NBA schedule, that compacted schedule, didn't help him any at all. So what are the Celtics going to do? What direction do they go in? That's pretty much all I have to say about the Celtics. The Nets did what they were supposed to do. Gentleman's sweep. I had that in 4 or 5. They got it in 5. Jason Tatum had his game. I said Tatum is going to give you a game where he gets 50, goes bonkers, and that's going to be a dub. So he gave you his game. He had a couple of more games, but then that big three got to churning. Harden decided, okay, I want to score today. All he has to do is say, hey, I want to score, and he can go score. I mean, it's James Harden. Campazzo for 3. Yes. Okay. Denver's making this interesting. 41-42. Both teams kind of shooting pretty hot from the outside here. 8 minutes and 20 seconds left in the second quarter. But yeah, it's a dicey situation there in Boston. There's a lot to figure out there in Boston. But that Bucks-Nets series, I got the Nets winning, of course, because I got them going to the finals. So what do you do? What do you do if you're the Bucks? How do you stop those 3 from getting theirs? And the others have played well. Joe Harris had a game. Bruce Brown might turn around and have a game. Jeff Green, I think they're going to be missing Jeff Green. I think that's going to hurt the Nets. How many minutes did DeAndre Jordan get against Giannis? Drew Holiday, does he guard Kyrie and Middleton guard Harden? Who guards KD? Giannis will probably guard KD. Then somebody will guard Blake Griffin, and somebody's going to have to chase around Joe Harris. I think this could be a series where Joe Harris could really, really get numbers and get buckets. Milwaukee doesn't have to double necessarily, but the big 3 are going to get theirs regardless. Harden, Kyrie, and of course KD. But I think Joe Harris is going to be vital. With no Jeff Green, him and Bruce Brown are going to have to score. Blake Griffin's going to have to score. If Blake Griffin can give me 15 a game, I will be happy with that. If he can give me 15. But he's going to have to step up his scoring. I think Steve Nash should incorporate him in the offense a little bit more. DeAndre Jordan is going to use his fouls, catch lobs. So Nick Claxton's going to play too. Nick Claxton's going to get some minutes because they need some bigs to guard Giannis. Now the Nets took that, the Bucks took that series in the regular season 2-1. But the Nets didn't have all their horses. So I think that's going to be a great series. It could go 6 or 7. I got the Nets winning that, of course, and 6 or 7. They could go 6. I don't think it'll go 5. I don't think they'll gentlemen sweep. I think the Bucks will get 2, maybe 3. But that's the matchups we got in the East. The East is set. The West is the Wild Wild West, which we knew would happen. Ooh, CJ was short on that 3. The Wild Wild West, we knew would happen. We knew that most of these series would go 6 or 7. The only series they didn't was a Utah series. But we knew the rest of these series would probably go 6 or 7. These teams in the West are going to wear each other out. Milwaukee's been sitting at home chilling. Philly's chilling. Atlanta got their win yesterday. So, and then the Nets got their win the other day as well. So that's set. We got the 1 versus 5 and the 2 versus the 3. In the West, Utah is patiently waiting. They get the rest. I think Mike Conley might be out. He has a hamstring strain. He might be out for game 1. He's going to be out game 1, I believe. That's what I read on Twitter. So, but Utah's going to be chilling. I mean, they're going to be chilling because the team they play next, which would be the 4-5 matchup, is probably going to go 7. So you get an extra couple days to chill. Phoenix is going to go 6, they could wrap it up tonight, or it could go 7. This Blazers Nuggets series, That's a dog fight. That's technically a dog fight. They had double overtime the other night. Dame put on a crazy performance. He lit Austin Rivers up, and Austin Rivers said, "Hey, what can I say? Like, I did my best." I mean, when a guy's on the road like that, on the road, and of course they had 2 crucial turnovers at the end. Rocco missed some layups and some dunks, and it fell apart for them. But they wasted a Dame performance like that. TJ McCollum said that won't happen again. I believe in you, CJ. I believe in you. I believe in the Portland Trailblazers. So I'll give more NBA news and things like that. And Count the Bucket, we'll be doing that Saturday. I will be doing Count the Bucket Saturday. I think Michael's back from vacation. So we'll have Michael back with me. And then I think we might have some guests on to talk some NBA basketball. If the Lakers lose, the Unwrapped Sports Network chat will go in shambles. It will literally go in shambles if the Lakers lose. And I'm not saying I'm here for it, but the Lakers better not lose game 6, and they definitely better not lose game 7. I don't think Anthony Davis is going to play. It doesn't make sense for them. But oh boy, that hoops chat is going to go crazy if the Lakers lose tonight. Whew. So we'll see. Utah's chilling, waiting on Clippers, Mavs. The Suns and Lakers are still playing. The Blazers and Nuggets are still playing. So those 4 teams are going to be exhausted when they get to each other. I think Utah has a pretty easy road to the Western Conference Finals. So whoever they play, the Clippers I think the Clippers, they'd rather play the Mavs than the Clippers because I think the matchups, I would rather play the Mavs. The Mavs can play a lick of defense. But you could say that about the Clippers too, but the Clippers can play defense when they want to. The Mavs are just roster is not built for defense. They have been playing some defense in this series. And the Mavs count on Luka a lot. The Clippers have more scoring options. The Mavs count on Luka a lot. Luka and others, because Kristaps Porzingis has not played well. He did hit big shots the other night, but he hasn't played well. All right. So congratulations to the Utah Jazz. Let's get into some news you can use. News you can use. I am happy for James Madison. I'm talking about women's softball, guys. It's on ESPN. Go check it out. I am happy for James Madison. Unranked seed, beat the number 1 team in the nation, my Oklahoma Sooners, 4-3 in 8 innings. OU has to win on Saturday. They played Georgia on Saturday, which Georgia's a team. They gave them one of their losses this season. Georgia beat Oklahoma State beat Georgia. Shout out to the Cowgirls. Go Pokes. They beat Georgia. Oklahoma State and Georgia are the only 2 teams that gave OU a loss this season. You can add James Madison to that. So they play Georgia on Saturday. I'm not sure what time. I think they play them on Saturday. Yeah, because they don't play tomorrow. They play them on Saturday. So they have to go through, I think, the losers bracket to get a softball championship, which I think they can do. I believe in Patty Gasco. I believe you, Patty Gasco. They have 5 All-Americans. I believe in you, Patty Gasco. I do. Strong hitting, strong pitching. It's just, man, it's a Cinderella. But I'm happy for you, James Madison. I'm torn between being happy for James Madison and being sad for my Sooners. But I'm happy that the underdog came up and showed out. I cheer for the underdog a lot, especially in college basketball. I cheer for them a lot. But shout out to you, James Madison. I think they might play Oklahoma State next. I'm not quite sure. I have to look at the bracket, but I know Oklahoma State beat Georgia. I think Alabama's playing right now. So we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated on that. Also, Mike Krzyzewski has announced that he's retiring after the season. So no Roy Williams in college basketball. No Mike Krzyzewski. A lot of new blood as far as coaches are concerned. And I'm shocked, but I think he's ready to just ride off into the sunset. He's going to have his tour. I heard that the most expensive ticket for the North Carolina and Duke game, which this be the last game at Cameron Indoor, was $1 million. I don't know if it's true, but it was from a verified account. I think it was from Duke's social media account. I think the cheapest ticket was like $10,000 or $100,000. And the most expensive ticket was $1 million. Now, I will keep you guys updated because I don't know how true that is. But I would not be surprised because it's Coach K. He leads the NCAA in all-time wins. Pat Summitt passed away, of course, from Alzheimer's. And she retired from coaching because she was a leader. She retired from coaching, and then she passed away from Alzheimer's a couple of years later. She had those wins, that all-time record, but then Mike Krzyzewski passed her, of course, because he kept coaching. So Mike Krzyzewski, congratulations. Congratulations. I'll be talking about that on Count the Bucket a lot here next season. Having his grand tour, his ride-off finale. He deserves it. I think he had a press conference today, and it was like a media day. It was nice. It was nice. I loved it. I loved how he just walked into the conference and they had the lights and everything like that. So Mike Krzyzewski, I wish you the best. We'll be talking about you through April of 2022. All right. The Celtics. What are the Celtics going to do? They promoted. Danny Ainge resigned. I think that was coming. I talked about it on Twitter. Would you rather fire Danny Ainge or Brad Stevens? I think I made that announcement on Twitter. I posted that probably a month or two ago because the Celtics were just struggling. Celtics organization said, well, we're just going to promote Brad Stevens and we're going to let Danny Ainge resign. I understand Brad Stevens is a great coach. Okay, I get that. A couple of Eastern Conference Finals appearances. Pushed LeBron. He was in the East. Great nucleus. I get that. Great college coach, came from Butler. I get that. But my gripe, Stephen A's gripe as well, is why don't Black coaches get these same opportunities? Mike Woodson was let go in New York, and they had one of the best seasons in New York Knicks history in a long time. It had been a while since New York Knicks had a season like that. He was let go. Dwayne Casey won Coach of the Year, was let go. Nate McMillan was let go. He's doing great in Atlanta, and they need to sign him. Doing great in Atlanta. Great for the culture, I believe. He was let go. He got a job with the Hawks, well deserved, because he did a great job in Indy, and he was let go. He did a great job in Portland. So where do Black coaches get their foot in the door? Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. The people on the court don't look like most of these coaches. The people on the court don't look like most of these GMs. How does one relate to a player and a player's business needs and finance needs when they don't understand the struggle of the player? How does one relate to the player's business needs and financial needs when one does not relate to the player? Now, I'm not saying all GMs in the NBA should be Black, but how do you go? You didn't even win a finals, NBA finals. How do you go from being the coach of the Boston Celtics, horrible year, COVID injuries, whatever, didn't have a good year, didn't perform well, to stepping into a GM role? Honestly, I think that's something Greg Popovich could do. Like if Greg said, you know what, I want to let coaching go, and he gets that basketball player, basketball operations role, which is what Danny Ainge was, which is what Brad Stevens is, which is a front office role. And he just steps right in. If Greg Popovich did that, I wouldn't have a problem. You want to know why? He has 5 rings. He's top 5 in winning percentage. He missed the playoffs twice his whole career. That was just back-to-back seasons. He had the longest playoff 10-year run in NBA history. He's one of the greatest coaches in NBA history. He's one of the greatest teachers in NBA history. He speaks out about social justice and things like that. Not saying Brad Stevens doesn't, but I'm just telling you Pop's resume. If Pop said, I want to be president of basketball operations for Spurs, that makes sense. Brad Stevens, really? When there are probably more qualified Black candidates out there, for the life of me, Black coaches are getting fired and white coaches are getting promoted. That is the issue. The players don't look like them, most of them. B, they don't look like the front office either. So how do you know my needs as a Black man and you can't comprehend where I come from? I think one reason why the Raptors, people like playing for the Raptors, well, players like playing for the Raptors, is Masai Ujiri, hope I said his name right, listens to their needs, understands, because he's a Black man, right? He understands them as players. And Kyle Lowry talked about it a little bit. Van Fleet said that's the reason why he re-signed and he didn't sign with the Knicks. Pascal Siakam talked about it as well. You have to have somebody that understands you and what you need and what you want. We know the NBA is a business. We all know that. But I just don't understand that Brad Stevens promotion. People will probably rip me for it. I haven't said anything about it on Twitter. I just retweeted what Stephen A did. He walked off set. He was so upset. Kendrick Perkins said what he said. I didn't say anything about it in the chat because I didn't feel the need to. But I feel how I feel. I think that it's crazy that we don't have more coaches and GMs that look like us when we dominate the league. WNBA is the same thing. No Quinn, a female Black head coach for the Seattle Storm. That's great. I talked about that earlier. We need more players and GMs and people in charge that look like us. Coaches in front office personnel that look like us to understand, okay, we know this is a business, but how can I help you be a better man? How can I help you support your family in this business? I just think that just needs to happen. Football as well. Football. Yeah. But that's my 2 cents on it. Any other news? The Boston Celtics fan that threw that water bottle at Kyrie could face up to 10 years in prison. Wow. And I think the Attorney General came out and said, we will not tolerate that. We will not tolerate you disrespecting Black players. We will not tolerate you disrespecting players, period. That was the Boston Attorney General. He came out. Boston Pete, well, he works for the Boston PD, of course, because he's Attorney General. But he came out and said that. So I'm happy that these fans are seeing repercussions for their actions. One fan ran onto the court during the 76ers game. He got tackled. Trae Young gets spat on. There's some other instances that probably happened that I'm missing. But fans, we just got you guys back. Can we please just be civil? We just got y'all back. We love having you back. I love seeing the fans. I love seeing MSG rocking. You know what I mean? I love to see TD Garden rocking. But y'all gotta do better. We just have to do better, guys. And that's pretty much all I can say about that. 2 biggest off seasons I'm looking forward to: the Boston Celtics, the Miami Heat, and the New York Knicks. Those 3 teams were eliminated. Memphis has a young core. I got to look at their draft picks and see what they have in store. But those off seasons I'm looking forward to the most. You do re-sign Derrick Rose. I don't care what you got to do. RJ Barrett needs to develop an outside shot. He just has to. Julius Randle didn't show up in the playoffs. That's okay. You'll be back next year. You've learned your lesson. Anthony Simons is hot from 3 right now. Good backdoor Monte. Good pass. One more swing. Michael Porter Jr. Step back. No. Rebound Rocco. Julius Randle had a tough series against the Hawks. Okay. Come back next year stronger and better. Come back next year stronger and better and learn from this playoff experience. What are the Knicks going to do in the offseason? I'm looking forward to that. The Celtics, we just don't know. We don't know who their next head coach is going to be. We don't know what they're going to do in the offseason. We don't know. Miami, Pat Riley always has something up his sleeve. So I'm expecting big things from the Miami Heat in the offseason as well. Do you go sign Dennis Schroeder? Do you go get – what do you do with that young core? What do you do with Hero? What do you do with Duncan Robinson? You said Jimmy and Bam are your nucleus. How do you build around that? You need a 20-point per game scorer, in my opinion. You just have to have one to make it in the playoffs. Last season, they just worked together well as a team. They were a well-oiled machine. They were one of the hottest teams coming into the bubble, and it worked. This year, they had such an inconsistent year. It just didn't work out. So what do you do there? All right, we went final. The Aces won 94-82. Next 2 games I got here up. Dame just missed the 3. I got the Sky and the Mercury, and then I got the Fever and the Sparks. So I have to figure out how to watch both of those games at the same time. And then while watching the not Denver game, the Lakers and Phoenix play. So the Lakers and the Suns, I got 3 games going on at once. It's going to be a lot. But the Aces get that win, one of the best teams in the league. They were ranked number 2 in your power rankings. New York Liberty took another L. So we'll see if they can get back into those winning ways. We'll see. They got the Rookie of the Month. They got Lainey. She's an MVP. She should be an MVP candidate. I wonder how many points she had tonight. Let's look at the stats. Let's look. She had 23 tonight. She had 23. Sammy Wickham had 14. Kaya Stokes had 13. Of course, Natasha Howard is out with that knee injury. That was New York. And Lainey led the New York Liberty in scoring with 23. See Vegas. Asia had 30. Jackie Young had 16. She's been balling lately. Hamby had 13. Chelsea Gray had 11. Liz Cambage had 12. Raquan Williams had 8. So Vegas got some balanced scoring. Portland took a 10-point lead, but is now down to 4. The Joker just hit a shot. Michael Porter Jr. has been balling. See him and Dame show pretty much. Anthony Simons has been playing well. Dame, don't hit that. Oh my goodness. Dame hit it, and my dog is barking. I'm getting ready to get off of here, guys, and eat some dinner. All right, it is now 61-68 Portland. I'll be back next week. More WNBA news, scores, rankings, all that's good stuff. NBA, the second round should be started by next week. We'll be talking about that. Next week is the 10th. Yes, we'll be talking about that as well. I'll be back. It'll be some more crazy stuff that happens. I'm pretty sure news you can use. Probably kind of Boston's going to be on their coaching search. The offseason for the NBA is going to be very exciting this summer. I think the draft is July 29th. So I'm going to do a draft profile on the top 15 prospects. I'm going to do that again this year. Hopefully I have the time to do it. Last year I had a lot of time between COVID and me being in the cast. I had all the time in the world to do draft profiles, but I'm up and moving again. COVID has slowed down, so we'll see about that. Before I get out of here, we're going to talk about our sponsors. Check out teespring.com/store/unwrapped and get your Unwrapped Sports Network gear here at the shop. We got OG gear, LeBron gear. Hope LeBron get a win tonight. We got some new gear as well, so check out teespring.com/store/unwrapped. Also, rxhemp.com. Use the code RXHemp/USN to get 10% off your entire order. Warm and cool CBD cream. Be careful about the dosage. Made with all natural products. So check that out as well. We're on a winning streak, baby. All we do is win, baby, win. So mybookie.ag. Unwrapped Sports Network is on a winning streak there in the chat. Use the code USN100 to double that first deposit. Get your NBA betting on, get your boxing betting on, MLB, anything you want to bet on. They have horse racing. They have a casino as well. So use that code USN100 to double your first deposit. Last but not least, find out why we are so hot. Patreon.com/unwrappedsports. $1 a month. General support. You're just a fan. $5 a month. You become part of the family. You get 10% off their Teespring store, as I talked about earlier. And 24/7 access to Discord chat. $10 a month. Excuse me, not $20 a month. $10 a month. You become VIP. I'm a part of that. You get 20% off the Teespring shop. All access to Discord chat. Those cool giveaways I showed you earlier. David Montgomery jersey, Keenan Allen jersey, Ricky Williams signed helmet, and then we had Brandon Ayuk, poster signing. So those have been the giveaways thus far. We thank all the new members in that Discord chat as well. And when I get my Keenan Allen jersey, Perry said he's going to ship it this week. It'll be in my background. I have a new background in my room now. I moved to my room, but you can still see the plain white wall. It'll be hanging up right above me. I'm going to show that jersey off because I never win anything. You guys watch my show. I talk about how I never win. So, all right, guys, I will see you back here next week. And you guys have a good night.